Good morning. I'm the Reverend Jennifer Brower, and on behalf of the ministry team here at Shelter Rock, the Reverend Dr. Natalie Fenimore and the Reverend Jay Brooks, it's my pleasure to welcome you to our live-streamed service this morning. Since this live streaming business is a little new to us, if something goes terribly wrong, just stay tuned and stick with us. We are figuring it out as well. Thank you for joining us from your home or wherever you happen to be this morning. And please, as we get started, join me in greeting the members of the Cosmic Orchestra with whom I have the pleasure of being here today, and I am sorry that we can't all be together today. Last night's rain and this morning's rain really kept us from being with each other here on the property at Shelter Rock. Today we have with us Pat Falco and Erica Lee and John Predis and Eugene Ruffalo. We have with us Mark Schulman and Ben Wish and Chris Marshak, who is our band leader. The musicians and I hope that you will each find some of what you need today here with us. As Unitarian Universalists, we believe that the transcendent, which goes by many different names, which is known to each of us uniquely and through many means, will be with us in houses of worship and in the cathedral of the great outdoors, in aha moments by ourselves, and in our relationships with others. It is present through art and music and the movement of our bodies. The music and spoken word in our soulful Sunday morning service together communicates the message for reflection. And you are invited to move your body as the Spirit tells you to. If you feel like getting up and dancing around your living room or your car or the cafe where you happen to be, we hope that you will get up and do that. We invite you to allow yourself to be so free. And now we turn to kindling the flame of our chalice, which is the symbol of Unitarian Universalism. The flaming chalice represents many different things, but today let it represent for us the joy of being together in community, to being uplifted, to having our burden lightened, to having our day brightened by our time together. I feel like I should invite the band to sit down. So you who are standing, you may be seated. Friends, I usually wake with a song playing in my head. You've heard me talk about that at times. And in recent days, it's been a contemplative Nick Drake song, Time Has Told Me. It felt too melancholy to have the band play that this morning, which was supposed to be our time together in August, our in-person August service. But as I mentioned, the rain had other ideas for us. No matter, the song still plays in my head and the lyrics roll through again and again. The song's title is the refrain of the song, Time Has Told Me. I find myself wondering, what has time told me? What is time telling me? I find myself thinking about a whole host of things. The strange passing of time. It feels like it has been an eternity and a befuddling blur since March of 2020. Time passes slowly and rapidly all at once, it seems. Time has told me that some things change radically in our world with the right catalyst, no matter the passage of time, and others seem positively welded in place, no matter what pushes against it. Every morning of late, the lyric prompts me to wonder again and again, what has time told me? What has this time told all of us? What might come in the days of this year? This is a fresh season of uncertainty, different than 3 months ago, 6 months ago, a year ago, 15 months ago, but uncertain still. As I've been living with that Nick Drake song, another portion has also played in my mind, and that is these lyrics. So I'll leave the ways that are making me be what I really don't want to be. I'll leave the ways that are making me love what I really don't want to love. I'll leave the ways that are making me be what I really don't want to be. Are you what you want to be? Are you who you want to be? If this pandemic time has told us nothing else, it has told us that the time for reflection and reconsideration, for renewal and recommitment, or reconstruction of everything is now. I'll leave the ways that are making me be what I really don't want to be. I'll leave the ways that are making me love what I really don't want to love. What do you love? To whom or what are you attached? Where does your allegiance lie and rest? And is that love or attachment or allegiance good and right and healthy and fitting for you? Does it support who you yearn to be, what you yearn to be? If, when we reflect upon what time has told us, we find that there are ways of being and loves that we need to leave behind, how on earth do we do that? How do we leave the ways that are making us be what we really don't want to be? How do we leave behind the ways that are making us love what we really don't want to love anymore? How do we align ourselves differently?
It's a choice of a lifetime, and I'm almost sure I will not live my life in between anymore. If I can be certain of all that's in store, this far it feels so right, so I hold it up to the light, hold it up to the light, hold it up to the light.
The search for my future, it has brought me here. This is more than I'd hoped for, but sometimes I fear that the choice I was made for will someday appear. Then I'd be too late for that flight. So I'll hold it up to the light. Hold it up to the light. Hold it up to the light.
It's too late to be stopped at the crossroads, where each life is a separate way. And if I wait, then they all will be lost roads. As each road's getting shorter, the longer I'll stay. But now, as soon as I move, my choice is good. As this way comes through right where I prayed that it would.
And if I keep my eyes open and look where I should.
All of the signs are in sight. If I hold it up to the light, hold it up to the light.
I said, God, will you bless this decision? 'Cause I'm so scared here with my life at stake.
But now I see, if you gave me a vision, that I will never have reason to use my faith.
I just felt dead with deciding, afraid to choose. 'Cause I was mourning the loss of the choices I'd lose.
But there's no choice at all if I don't make my move and trust that the timing is right.
Yes, and hold it up to the light.
Hold it up to the light.
Hold it up to the light.
Yes, and hold it up. Hold it up to the light.
You hold it up to the light.
Hold it up to the light.
Hold it up. Hold it up to the light. Hold it up to the light. Hold it up to the light. Yes, and hold it up. Hold it up to the light. Hold it up to the light. Hold it up to the light.
It's glorious. It's just glorious. And you would hear the gathered applauding and enjoying and appreciating that piece of music if they could. I have found one of the gifts of working in very close proximity to death, that death's presence reminds me that I don't want to waste time or my freedom to choose my life. Being near death, as the bereaved will tell you, is enlivening. It is vivifying. It puts everything into clear perspective. The grieving get it. And these days, we are each the grieving. We are each the bereaved in some way. The collective experience of loss, profound loss, far-reaching loss, the loss of life on grand scale around the globe, the loss of normal, the loss of everything routine, the loss of the illusion of control, the loss of the customary and predictable, the loss of community. You are not here today. The loss of closeness and conversation with strangers, of intimacy, the loss of income, and even more. Our collective experience of loss, created by our experience of living through a pandemic, has sparked a collective awakening to life, an awakening to the freedom to choose our lives within certain confines, of course. As individuals and couples and families, as working people, we are making fresh choices, deciding that we want something different from our lives. God knows, if you have a LinkedIn account, every day there is a new article telling us how we are changing our lives, how we are making different choices now. But changing direction, leaving one road to take another, is frightening, sometimes so frightening that we are paralyzed, even when we feel some urgency to take that new path, even when we see and feel the sands of time slipping through the glass. We may also feel dread. We may feel dead with deciding, afraid to make a choice. But the only real mistake is not choosing our path and letting life dictate it for us. We are choosing creatures. All of our life, we are confronted with choices from the time we are toddlers, as the parents of little ones understand. We are making choices for ourselves, and we make those choices until the days when we are taking our final breaths. Our choices start off simple enough. Do you want to wear the red shirt or the blue shirt today? John has 4 kids. He's probably said that thousands of times. Would you like the purple shirt or the green shirt? And in no time at all, those decisions grow in complexity and gravity. We advance from T-shirts or choosing socks to making decisions about our education before we are wise enough to know anything about what matters in this world. We pick schools and potential careers, and we start to build a certain lifestyle for ourselves, and we choose life companions and hope that they choose us back. Each and every choice expressing who we seek to be in this life. We pick a path to earn our living, a path to express our passion if we cannot do so in our vocation. We decide where we will live according to our means, and possibly we are given the choice of whether to bring another human being into the stream of life. And in time, we must choose how we will live as our aging bodies change our abilities and limit our choices. And those, of course, are only some of the choices we have had to make or will make in life. As we navigate the choices between possibilities, as we strive to create the life that we hope for, we assess the effects and consequences of each move. What are the benefits? We weigh the pros and cons. People say, make a list of the pros and cons. How great are the costs? We ask ourselves, how will this change the course of my living or disrupt my family? How will my desires please or distress those in my circle of relationship? And is this the time? What does time tell me? Is this the time? Sometimes with some decisions, we can live in the place of abundance and giftedness, the place where we feel each choice is an opportunity. But more often than not, that choice comes hard and the decision weighs heavy on us. Among the lyrics of the David Wilcox song we just heard, I am struck by I was dead with deciding, afraid to choose. I was mourning the loss of the choices I'd lose. Every choice, opening a new way for us, means another path untraveled. Knowing which is right does not come easy. The markers pointing us on our way rarely clear. Life feels at times so risky. And some days we just feel we are not up to the challenge of making those choices. But as the song reminds us, there is no choice at all if we don't make our move. On the road to finding the life we were made for, we must take our chances. If we want to experience the very fullness of life, if we want a life of authenticity and integrity, one that we can say at the very end, damn, I did the very best I could, and it was glorious as I made my way, then we will have to make choices. And we will have to find some way to weigh those choices to see if they are blessed, as the song says. We will have to measure the decision. In the words of Thomas Kelly, deep within us all, there is an amazing inner sanctuary, a holy place, a divine center, a speaking voice, a light within, to which we may continuously return, where encouragement and courage can be found. There, eternity is at our hearts, pressing upon our time-worn lives, warming us with its intimations of an astounding destiny, and calling us. He says, committing ourselves in body and soul, utterly and completely, to the light within is the beginning of our true life. It is the dynamic center, the creative life that grows within us. It is the seed stirring to life if we don't choke it. In those times when we feel we are under a wave of unknowing, when we wonder about the path before us and what to choose, when we long for different days, better days, may we have faith in that illuminating light within. May we hold our decisions to that light with faith that we can create those better days we seek. As we grow in our commitment to bringing forth our authentic self, to creating better days for ourselves and our loved ones, let us create opportunities for others. As Unitarian Universalists, the second principle we covenant to affirm calls us to promote justice, equity, and compassion in human relations. One of the most direct ways we live into this value each week is to take up a collection in support of a local organization and serve that community's need. Today's offering goes to Adventures in Learning, a Manhasset-based program which provides an environment that nurtures the minds, bodies, souls, the inner light of children from the formative years of early childhood through the impressionable, oh so difficult years of pre-adolescence. The program activities focus on values of caring, honesty, respect, and personal responsibility. Adventures in Learning serves the children of low-wealth families, many of mixed or no immigration status, who have not been helped by any of the government's COVID relief packages. In response to the current crises, amplified by the pandemic, the program uses donations like yours and mine to help these families with grocery store gift cards, rent payments, and cards for transportation. 70 to 100 families are served through this fund. Please give as generously as you are able. There are 3 ways to contribute. You will see a page, a screen, a slide, a something on your screen informing you of ways to donate. You can use the donate link on our website. Be sure to choose special collection. You may send a text or use PayPal. Thank you.
There will be better days. There will be better days. There will be better days. There will be better days.
Let the wave wash over me.
There will be better days. There will be better days.
Let the wave wash over me.
There will be better days.
I am already under Let the wave wash over me. Let the wave wash over me. Let the wave wash over me. I am already under. Let the wave wash over me. Let the wave wash over me. Let the wave wash over me. I am already under. Let the wave wash over me. Over me. Over me. Over me. Yeah, let it rain. There will be better days. 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 Better days. There will be rain on me. Let the wave wash over me. Let the wave wash over me. I am already under. Let the wave wash over me. Let the wave wash over me. Let the wave wash over me. I am already under. Let the wave wash over me.
I share with you a reading from Gary Zukov, one of his books. I don't recall which. There was a man who was blind from birth. He'd never seen anything but shades of deep darkness, and he couldn't imagine what it would be like to see. At some point in his mid-adulthood, a doctor approached him and said that there was a new procedure that could give him sight, that could treat the visual defect that he had. The blind man asked, "What is it like to see? What's it going to be like if I do this?" The doctor and all of the man's friends tried to explain what it was like to see, but the man who was born without sight couldn't understand what they were saying, couldn't really wrap his mind around it, which I'm sure we could all appreciate. "I don't understand what you mean by green, by deep shades of green, by varying shades of green," he said. "I can't imagine what you mean when you talk about stars in the night sky." So it was clear to everyone, the man and his circle of relationship, that no one could tell him what it was going to be like to see. But still he had the opportunity. The opportunity was there if he wanted it. And he thought about it and reflected upon it, called his doctor, and he asked, will I be able to use my cane when I see? I don't want to see if I can't use my cane. A new life calls to each of us. It is a longing within each of us. A life that didn't exist before. It's a sensing, seeing, feeling, hearing that we have not been aware of before, that we have some glimmer of. This new life requires challenging our fears, though. The fear of being vulnerable, the fear of loving and losing, of being loved and losing, of trying and failing, of being betrayed, of being used, of not having enough, of having too much. These are our canes. They are what we have known for most of our lives, and they have helped us to navigate through our most difficult times. We feel naked without them. We know them. They are our companions. So which will we choose? What we have known, or are we willing to take a chance on life?
I stood on the rail till I saw that train, just to see how my heart would react. Now some people say that you shouldn't test fate, and for them I cannot disagree. But I never learned nothing from playing it safe. I say fate should not tempt me. I take my chances. I don't mind working without a net. I take my chances. I take my chances every chance I get. I sat alone in the dark one night, tuning in by remote. I found a preacher who spoke of the light. There was brimstone in his throat. He showed me the way according to him in return for my personal check. I flipped my channel back to CNN and I lit another cigarette. I take my chances. Yes, forgiveness doesn't come with a debt. I take my chances. I take my chances every chance I get. I take my chances. I've crossed lines of words and wire, and both have cut me deep. I've been frozen out, I've been on fire, and the tears are mine to weep. But I can cry until I laugh, or laugh until I cry. So cut the deck right in half. I'll play from either side. My chances. I pay my dollar and I place my bet. I take my chances. I take my chances every
Oh, I hope everyone was dancing to that. Thank you very much. Something my late father said to me is never very far from my thoughts. Although my father and I talked about all kinds of things over the years. About 5 years ago, he shared with me an early life experience that he had never mentioned before. My father described being at a cattle slaughterhouse that my grandfather, his father, owned, and the experience of watching two men slaughtering cows. One man would hit the cow on the head with a hammer to stun it, and the other would quickly slit its throat. It was a strangely brutal scenario for my father to talk about. My father, who couldn't get enough of Fred Astaire and Ginger Rogers, who found, I don't know how he did it, but it seemed that every night there was a Fred Astaire and Ginger Rogers movie on television, and he would say, "Don't do your homework, come watch Fred and Ginger with me." So this scene in the slaughterhouse was really something for him to talk about. But he went on to say that the lesson he took from that day was that as you go through life, you will never see the hammer coming. You will never know when the blow will come that will change everything. You will never see the hammer coming that will stop you from pursuing the life you dream of. You will never see the hammer coming that is going to stop you from pursuing the person you love. You will never see the hammer coming that will stop you from simply being. And so, since you will never, ever know, you must act when it occurs to you. You have to live with as much authenticity and gusto as you possibly can while you can. He would say, seize life. Be daring even when you are afraid. Be more passionate, more creative, more loving, more bold. And friends, if you are not what you want to be, if you find that your allegiance, your love is to something that doesn't make you come alive just now, then I ask, what are you waiting for? Are you looking for an invitation? If you are, here it is. Here is your invitation. No matter how many days, months, or years left in your living, live large. Take your chances. Get everything out of being alive. Because to my knowledge, you only get to do it once. And the sooner you act on your desires to live fully, the better. Because this is no dress rehearsal. And to quote Monty Python, we're not dead yet. Do it now. As we prepare to bring this time together today to a close, I share with you these words. And I must confess I have misplaced the citation. To live is to risk dying. To hope is to risk despair. To try is to risk failure. But risks must be taken, because the greatest hazard in life is to risk nothing. The person who risks nothing does nothing, has nothing, is nothing. He or she may avoid suffering and sorrow, but he or she simply cannot learn, feel, grow, change, love, and live. Only a person who risks is truly free. Time has told us that the world has been turned upside down, and that our urge to grow and risk change is healthy and good and right, and that everything is possible now. May we believe it and live it.
barely could believe. I seen all the stars in heaven staring back at me. I seen a billion minds collide, then stream into my eyes. As time rolls on, I won't let life leave me behind. Whoa, let's dream out loud, 'cause all we know has been turned upside down. Yeah, everything is possible now. I've seen things my father said he never thought I'd see. I wonder what my kids will find to roll their eyes at me. I can see the future coming, man, it's such a sight. But time will waste me if I don't stop wasting time. Whoa, let's dream out loud, 'cause all we know has been turned upside down. Yeah, everything is possible now. Yeah, everything is possible now. Yeah, everything is possible now. I've seen all the prophets fall from pillars made of sand. I've seen the truth drag through the mud and never heard again. I've seen the precious water flowing, stolen by the blind. And you got yours, now